couple of weeks ago, I got on to talk about some of the pretty clear issues the Knicks were having. It was in the midst of their slump, and while they are just kind of coming out of the slump, playing against Philly, which is one of the teams we addressed in that video, some very specific things, they did some things that were really, really damn good. And I want to document those too, because this could be really important to them turning things around and potentially getting out of the East like a lot of people thought they were supposed to. Let's talk about the very first thing. It's what I focused on in that video. It was the defense, and specifically as it pertains to Brunson. In the video, I was just kind of looking at how they used him against Philly, and then you had him on Edgecombe, sometimes you had him on Maxey, and I'm going, okay, so where can you hide him? Because if you put him on the forward, you potentially give up a lot of size, a lot of rebounds. There's some pretty clear disadvantages that could put you in, and I would say Philly really did not abuse it the way that they should have, but also Brunson kind of didn't let them, and neither did the Knicks. Start up high, close on Oubre, sees that Embiid 3 coming, blows it up. His off ball has been good today. I didn't know if you could win with your guys being targets. Well, even here, you see Brunson is trying. You know, he's recognized they're going after him. He doesn't even want Oubre to catch it, but he does. There's only so much you can do there. But now we're going to George on Brunson, who once again, you see the effort from him, and Anunoby peels over. Now we're going to a double. Yes, Brunson's off-ball defense was incredible in this game. Mike Brown basically just said, fuck it, we are going to put him on the forward. And the Sixers, I don't think they really knew how to respond to it. They didn't have Oubre cut a lot. They definitely did try to go at him, but I think they figured out pretty quickly that's playing into the Knicks' hands. If you have Oubre backing down and such, instead of going to Embiid, instead of going to Maxey, or if you're just passing to Oubre for a shot because he has a size advantage, well, all of that is more favorable than it being somebody else. So I really like what I see so far. Oubre, now this is what I was worried about with, but anyways, you see them trying to take advantage of Brunson as well. So this is just a really, really good job from these two right here to not make it easy. Wanted to switch. I was surprised to see that Philly didn't necessarily try to go at that. They didn't really move Oubre a ton in a way that would affect Brunson, but they did try to go at him. They did try to involve him in action, and Brunson just was not having it. Yeah, this is what the New York Knicks need for Brunson. So we're clear, if they are ever going to win a championship, if they are ever going to get out of the East, it has to be that Brunson. Then yeah, giving effort on the other side, and when you're constantly getting attacked, is kind of hard. But that kind of brings me to the other thing the Knicks did well in this game. Oh my gosh, their offense. This is what it needs to be, seriously. We will start with Cat. So they opened the game with Karl Towns being super aggressive, and this is why, once again, broken record, you need to watch the games. You look at the stat box, it looks like he played like ass. He fouled out, he had 10 points, pretty sure he had a couple of turnovers. If you watch it, they started this game with him being so aggressive. I believe he had about 10 points in 9 minutes. He drove and got a couple of fouls, but most importantly, he got the touches he needed. And you see here, Cat, again, there we go. This is what we need from Cat. Says this was important, right? Maxey, Bridges, this is a great play design, give it to Cat. But see, this is what I've been saying is what the Knicks need. Because sometimes it's just these long stretches where Cat doesn't touch it. How Cat has started this game is how he's supposed to look. So you see this whole play started with, hey, Cat should be commanding the attention that he is. So he starts at the top, can make a pass, the floor is spread because of it. That's what I was saying, use his qualities. Even if he's not going to take the shot, you start at the top with him, boom, look how much space you have now. You got space for cutters, you got space for him. This is why Cat needs to touch the ball more than I have seen him touching the ball. Jordan Clarkson didn't play in this game, and that was a specific thing going on in the media where he was saying, as in Karl Towns, he was saying he missed campaign from last year. That would be a guy for the second unit that would set him up better. It would allow him to flow better. And while Clarkson does bring scoring, he doesn't really allow Cat to be Cat in the second unit. The Knicks allowed Cat to be him in the first unit and the second unit. They gave him the ball at the top. The Knicks moved around. They never stopped cutting. It was beautiful to watch. Obviously, you can't leave Cat open out there, so it opens up offense for him to be able to drive. It opens up the lane for everybody else. And that's one reason Brunson looked so much better, because he was also a part of that off-ball movement, which I know they do off-ball things for him already. But in this game specifically, oh man, it was way, way less of bink, bink, hezzy, step back. You really didn't see a ton of that from him. He created some of his own shots, but a ton of it was also just movement. Yabusele Mitch lineup, interesting. Oh, that cut. Hey man, this is that one boy. Brunson is a hard cover, bro. You don't want to. It's Josh Hart. Yeah. Oh man, Philly, bro. Constantly setting screens, constantly cutting handoffs. You see McBride right there set a screen while they were moving. There's just so much going on for them on the floor right now. Oh my gosh, Hart just got his own rebound, dog. Oh man, the Knicks. The Sixers need another halftime. That's what they need. They need another halftime so Nick Nurse can get on their ass the way Mike Brown or whoever got on the Knicks' ass at half. That's what they need, man. In the playoffs with you, and you might have to find a way to stop this. You have to try these things out. Regular season, as Brunson used an angle there and just missed. Oh, Philly got blessed. So back to the point of Cat, though. Yes, he fouled out, and that is one of the issues with the Knicks is you need him to be out there for their offense. For that reason right there, if you watched this game, once it kind of got to the fourth quarter and they couldn't really use him, he was in foul trouble kind of early. The offense stalled. Mike Brown ended up having to go completely small because, yeah, offense stalling, Mitchell Robinson. While he did do great at offensive rebounding, there's only so much he can do on offense. That being said, his defense made up for it this game. His defense in space made up for it. His defense in the paint made up for it. And Anunoby, great defense. Mitch is actually up high this time and trying not to get worked in space, and he is not getting worked in space right now. He defended that really, really well. Good defense from Mitch. Again, stripped. He is having a great defensive showing right now in the second half. So while they weren't able to fully benefit from Cat on offense for the full game, Mitch did his job. He even got loose for one of his own dunks where he actually put the ball on the floor. But it was just so important to see his activity. Offensive rebounding is like the one other thing you'll probably get from him on offense aside from lobs. But when he is playing great individual one-on-one defense, which he did in the second half on Embiid, and then when he gets switched on the forwards and also plays great defense, man, it's an energy from really him and this whole team that I haven't seen in a month. Sixers didn't know what to do. And part of that was the return of Landry Shamet, also important. He was getting over screens, but his spacing, I'm telling you, sometimes one quality can make such a big difference. With everything else going on the floor, Mikal Bridges was having a horrible game, and that can be a death sentence for your game plan. Just one offensive guy not producing, now the space starts to close in. Shamet was huge, man. Especially because, again, by the end, with Cat in foul trouble, with Mitchell Robinson, the game gets close. Obviously, he's the one the Sixers are going to start testing. They were able to go small, and it was successful. It has turned into a chess match where Mike Brown has just said, I'm not going to let them jam the offense up as much as it's been, because the offense did get jammed this quarter from the start. It really got jammed. And so he tried to put them in a situation where they can't trap Brunson, which they still are showing him too. Bang. So that's one thing, though, is because Philly is going to force the issue. Some of the possessions are going to turn out like that. And you can see Philly's just struggling right now. Philly is struggling to deal with it. So it worked. Mike Brown won the chess match. He did. Especially against Philly, where size is one of their bigger advantages, just the big forwards, obviously Joel Embiid. Embiid couldn't keep up. He does a very few things like super athletically, not right now, right? But specifically, when I worry about Philly and I try to move them up a tier in my head, I'm going, in the playoffs, he just can't slide his feet that well right now. So you saw the Knicks take advantage of that multiple times, where Brunson and his big would have a two-man game going, and they just kept working it until Embiid was in a position where he kind of needed to help, and he couldn't get there fast enough. They used this in the first quarter, and it's this little two-man game with Brunson and Mitch. Because when they get kind of on a string together here, now Brunson can kind of use that as a threat. As you see, there might have been a screen there, so Embiid was just kind of frozen, and now the paint is open. Guys were rebounding, man. Josh Hart, we know that's his thing, right? He is the Knicks transition offense, and he is also, for his size, probably just I was about to do the Stan Van Gundy inch for inch thing. If you know, you know. Let's just say his rebounding for his size is amazing. They outplayed the Sixers on that side of the ball. I've seen Hart get his own rebound. The Knicks were getting multiple chances. And it kind of ties to the cliche thing of just wanting it and having your energy right, which they did apparently after a player meeting. I think you can clearly see, first of all, two things. They watched film on their losses against the Philadelphia 76ers because they just adjusted so well. But guys were clearly called out for their efforts. I think that, I don't know who it was, but somebody has looked Brunson in his eye and told him, you can score as many points as you want. We are not going to get anywhere if we don't get defense out of you. Switching, using his hands, the guys couldn't get their passes off. As you see, Grimes comes up. Brunson up high, pursues, put his hands up so there couldn't be a pass, and then switches right here, pokes it away. This is the Brunson that has to be on defense. I will say again, that has to be Jalen Brunson for the Knicks to be successful. Has to. Different world for New York, bro. Different world in this game. I think this was specifically important because with the first 2 Philly wins, it was starting to feel a little like, oh man, that's one of those surprise teams that might be able to get them in the playoffs. And this still ended up really close. I think it would be a good playoff series, but they adjusted to the things that were my biggest issues with them in that game and all the other ones we looked at in that first video. We'll see what happens. That was just one game. They are on a 3-game win streak as I record this, but the energy needs to be in the right place. The East is starting to improve a little bit. Teams are picking up, but I still feel like roster for roster, there is not a ton of teams that can look at another squad and say, oh, they can't beat us 4 times. It's really that wide open between, I would say, the top 5. So let me know what you think about the Knicks so far and how they did this game if you watched. Also, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications every time a new video drops. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.